Well, what's up, church fam? I'm AJ, and this is Pastor Jason.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to our podcast. I know in the first episode, we answered questions on Jason's call to ministry and his walk into that area of his life. This time, we're going to be getting to know him on a little bit more of a personal level.
All right. Yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about how I got into ministry. Looking forward to these questions. And I know these have been questions that have been submitted by some of the people here in our church. So hopefully this will go well and that you'll get to know a different side of me maybe a little bit that you don't always get to see on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this. So
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get right into it.
fire away.
Thank you. Starting off strong, man. What's your favorite animal?
Ooh, that is a tough one. Favorite animal. I may make some enemies on this, but especially when it comes to like dogs and cats, I'm definitely more of a dog person than a cat person.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Elaine.
Yeah, sorry, Elaine. I know, and Adeline and several other cat people that really enjoy cats. Sorry to my own daughter, Rebecca. She loves cats too, but it's an ongoing discussion in our house about cats and dogs. But I always like dogs better. You know, the old joke is that you take care of a dog and you meet all of its needs and you provide for it and love on it, and the dog looks at you and thinks, "Oh, you must be God."
Yep.
Yeah, and you do the same thing for a cat. You take care of it, and the cat looks at you and says, "Oh, I must be God."
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
But all the hate mail about cats, Jason at bonairchurch.com.
Bring it on.
If you don't like me not liking cats, I'm sorry, but I do prefer dogs. But I don't know if I would say that was my favorite animal.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I always had a fascination with some of the more unusual animals. I loved reptiles.
Oh yeah.
I loved sharks. Ocean life. I've always loved ocean life. In fact, I don't know if I'd mentioned it last week or not, but I thought about being a marine biologist rather than going into ministry. That was my plan anyway. So any ocean life is things that I love. But I did also like reptiles growing up. I remember as a kid going to the Milwaukee County Zoo one time and standing in the reptile house looking at the snakes for so long that finally when they came to feed the snakes, the staff must have noticed me there because they got one of the big boa constrictors out and like put it around my neck, let me hold it and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was pretty cool. But so I've always kind of liked that. But,
yeah. Well, that sounds like a pretty cool childhood memory.
Well,
do you have a favorite one?
Yeah, that is a tough question.
Oh yeah.
When you live this long, there's two problems. Either you can't remember the childhood memories or there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So just favorite childhood memories, most of them kind of center, I think, around family for me. Yeah. I remember going out to my grandmother's on my mom's side of the family. They had a farm, and I would remember going out there working in the summer times or just going out for the evening. They lived 20 miles away. It was pretty easy to get to their house, but I remember for a long time they never watched TV or anything.
Oh wow.
So they had one sitting there, but I guess they used it to watch the Lawrence Welk show or something like that, but they didn't watch it very much. And so we would sit there, and they would always have the wood burning stove going in the room, and we'd all sit around the wood burning stove and talk, and Grandma would be knitting or crocheting. Taught me how to do that. Now that I can't remember now, but she taught me at one time how to do that. Yeah. So those were really good memories. Thinking of that, but the other childhood memories I really like, I remember, exploring the creek that ran through our backyard and walking all through town along the creek and getting different places and just exploring, thinking it's out in the wilderness and the wild and fishing, swimming, a lot of good childhood good things like that. But most of the good memories, I think, were around family. Also had some really good memories at church, which I think made a big difference growing up. One of my favorites was Miss Doris Meyer. Even after all these years, I can still remember her. She was my kindergarten Sunday school teacher.
Oh, wow.
So our Sunday school teachers out there, our children's ministry volunteers, if you don't think what you're doing is important, I still remember my kindergarten Sunday school teacher, and I remember that
Wow.
that she was able to take a pretty hyperactive kid and just loved on me and shared Jesus with me, didn't give up on me, even though I know I had to frustrate her sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember her kindness and her sweetness. When I was serving in my very first church up in Wisconsin, yeah, a long time ago, more than 20 years ago now,
Oh wow.
I actually heard that she had passed away, and I had a chance to go to her funeral, which
wow.
I thought was really fitting. It was sad, bittersweet, but she was such a faithful, godly woman a godly woman, and yeah, just I just remember her kindness and her gentleness and her love of Jesus, and that's a beautiful, precious memory I hold on to.
Yeah. Those are important people in our foundational times of our lives.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and it always strikes me how often it's the little things that we do that we don't really think are important,
Yep.
but that people are paying attention to, and makes a big difference to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of children, I know your children are very gifted when it comes to instruments and playing
They
them.
get that from my wife's side of the family.
Oh, of course. Well, how many instruments do you play, and which is your favorite?
I don't really. I play at a few instruments.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm really gifted or skilled.
Yeah.
Growing up, I spent a lot of years in choir.
Okay.
From middle school on, I was always in choirs, church choirs at middle school, high school, college.
Yeah.
Even in seminary, I sang in the choir at seminary.
Wow.
So over the years, I learned how to read music.
Yeah.
And so I can pick out simple things on the piano if I had to. I would never say that I can play piano.
Yeah.
I can very slowly read music. It's not very good. I'm not very practiced at it.
Yeah.
But in my years of ministry, I've learned to play the acoustic guitar.
Okay. Yeah.
I can play a lot of chords and strumming and things like that is what I can play. But then in our last church, with people coming on and off the praise band and moving and different situations like that, we ran into a situation where we didn't have a bass player, so I had to learn to play bass guitar.
Oh wow.
And actually, out of everything, that's my favorite.
Really?
I call it guitar for dummies.
Yep.
Because you only have to play one note at a time.
Oh wow.
I don't have to worry about all 6 fingers. I just got to get one.
Yeah. One down.
Yeah, or all 5 fingers, I should say, all 6 strings. But you only have to play one note at a time. So that is probably my favorite instrument to play. But that's really it.
Yeah.
That's all I can play.
Yeah.
The rest of my family is incredibly musically gifted. I mean, Melissa plays piano and sings incredibly in our praise band. Hannah was an all-state oboe player all through high school. She was even first chair in the all-state band several years, and she plays piano. All our girls, they're both of our girls. Rebecca, she plays piano too. They started learning when they were like 4 or 5.
Oh my goodness.
And then Rebecca plays flute and piccolo as well too. So that's all from Melissa's side of the family.
Yes.
her family is both of her parents were music majors.
Okay. Of course.
And so they're a very musical family.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got her talent and not mine.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what they say, the bass and the drums, those are the heartbeat of the band.
Well, they are. They are.
They
Yeah,
really
I
provide
think it's
that.
important, and
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Well, who's your favorite superhero? Taking a really wild spin here.
Oh yeah. Okay, sharp right turn, everyone.
Yeah.
Favorite superhero? I would say growing up when I was a kid, Batman was my favorite.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because he didn't really have a superpower. He was just a normal guy with some pretty cool tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I really like Batman. I don't like how DC kind of went really dark with him in all the movies that they've made.
Yeah.
So I haven't followed superheroes very much in recent years. If I had to say a favorite more modern superhero, it'd probably be like Mr. Incredible or something like that, because I love the Incredibles movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I would say. Yeah. And then the Mr. Incredible character I love, just not because of his strength, but because of his brokenness and weakness that he actually shows in the movies, which I thought was, I actually think Incredibles is probably one of the better, one of the best movies that have come out in recent years, just because of a lot of the themes that run through the movie.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot more powerful than most of the movies that we get.
yeah, it is. It's better storytelling.
Yeah.
I love the line in there that, when everyone becomes a superhero, then nobody is super.
Yep.
And I thought that was a pretty telling criticism of our culture.
Yeah. Definitely.
If everyone's special, then no one's special.
Yep. And
there's some things in there that really kind of made you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said The Incredibles is a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Was it perhaps your favorite movie?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It is pretty close, honestly. I also love the old cartoon Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if what that tells you about me that I really like cartoon movies, but but that would be one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites would be The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
That's one of mine. That's one of those movies that when it comes on, I can probably quote the whole movie. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
So those are my favorites. Some of my favorites. I like the old Star Wars movies. I like a lot of sci-fi, fantasy movies were always things that I watched kind of growing up. But yeah, I'd say Princess Bride would be probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We mentioned Star Wars in there. Do you have a favorite Star Wars character and a favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh.
That's a tough question.
It is. And boy, if I made people mad with the cats and dogs comments, you could really make people mad with the Star Wars comments too. Yeah. But for me, I think the original Star Wars movies, I remember those as a kid. I mean, those were some of my earliest movies that I saw when Empire Strikes Back came out. Really? I remember that. Oh, wow. It was probably one of my first movies, other than maybe Bambi.
Oh wow!
That I saw.
Goodness. Yeah.
But so the original 3 Star Wars movies, they're really good. They're all-time classics.
Yeah.
The prequel movies that came out, when they first came out, I didn't really like them. They've kind of grown on me a little bit.
Really? And
I think they really kind of fit the story of leading up to Darth Vader, Anakin's change back to good at the end of Return of the Jedi. So I mean, I've those movies have grown on me. I like a lot of the Clone Wars things that came out. The newest Star Wars movies that came out with Rey, I think were absolutely terrible. And completely destroyed a lot of Star Wars lore and beliefs and things like that. So I don't have any respect for those movies at all. I think they were lousy. But favorite Star Wars character growing up was always Luke.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was just that's just a given for my generation. Luke, it's either Luke or Han, and so Luke ended up being my favorite. Which is also one of the reasons why I didn't like the 3 newest movies, because they made him into a bitter old man, and it was almost a failure in what he did afterwards.
Right.
So I didn't appreciate that, but I think over time, though, my favorite character has come to be Obi-Wan. He's not just for in the Star Wars realm what he does, but the mentoring that he does, even though his students struggled, especially Anakin, but he was always willing to sacrifice for the good, what he thought was the good of the Jedi Order and goodness in general. And he was always known as a master, but never for attack or offense, but always for defense. So I think he's kind of, and then the wisdom he showed, as the old character in the original movies. So I would say that probably has to be my favorite character now. Yeah.
Personally, I'm an Anakin guy all the way.
Well, Anakin has a pretty interesting story, and I think there was a study there was an author years ago. I believe it was J.R.R. Tolkien. And it was either him or C.S. Lewis. They're both friends with each other. They both wrote a lot about literature. But I think it was Tolkien that talked about the Great Myth. And he used that to refer to the storyline of the Bible and God's redemption of humanity. And he would talk about that as to the effect that our stories reflect the great myth, that our myths reflect the great myth.
Yeah.
And that truth that we have in those stories, when it reflects on biblical truth, it means something so much more to us as people, and it's a story that resonates with us.
Yeah.
And the Anakin character really has a lot of the great myth in it, with his his story of wanting to be on the right side, and then his fall because of fear and worry and anxiety, and his fall into darkness, and what not only fear can do to you, but fear combined with power, and how it corrupts, and then his redemption out of his love for his son. I can see why he'd be a good character
story.
too. Yeah, it's a great story. So that's again another thing I don't like about the new movies. It wasn't good storytelling.
Right. Yeah.
It's got to have that truth in it, if we want to identify with it. It's got to be. It can't be like so many of the movies now that try to deconstruct everything about society. That good is no longer good and bad is no longer bad, and it's all confusing. To me, that's not good storytelling.
I agree.
It's got to reflect the reality of how God created this world.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Well,
a lot of mention of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Jason, what are your thoughts on aliens?
Real
or not? Real or not?
Oh boy.
If you thought these other questions were difficult.
Yeah, this one's crazy. I don't know who wrote these questions. No. My thoughts on aliens. As I've mentioned in church before, I do watch a lot of these mystery shows, and I've watched Ancient Aliens, all the episodes and everything like that, and then all these different In Search of things, and there are things that make you wonder, because I think there's so much more of history that we don't know, and so many things that we can't explain, how things were done, what technologies people came up with. I hesitate to say that we were visited in the past by aliens, because I think there's an arrogance in that, that we think that ancient people weren't as clever as we are.
Yeah.
We have more technology, but they were just as intelligent and could come up with solutions that we sometimes don't think of to problems. So I don't think they necessarily needed help to do the things that they did, but there's a lot of stuff we don't know. Could there be aliens out there? It's possible, I guess. I know there's Christians out there that say, that the Bible doesn't talk about them, and that humanity is the pinnacle of creation. We are the saved, the race that bears the image of God, and and Christ became human. He didn't become another, alien race or something like that. So a lot of those things would point to us being alone. And if I had to lean one way or another, I would say we probably are alone. That there aren't other races, species out there. And the only reason I say that is just because of how absolutely improbable it is for us to even be here. And granted, there's billions of planets out there, and every possible situation, maybe. I mean, we don't know. And so I would tend to lean that we're alone, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in this world that we can't necessarily explain. I mean, there are people that think they've seen them. There are people that think they've seen things in the sky, and I've seen pictures and videos that I can't explain. Everything that's there, and there may be more, to this world. I may be wrong. And if I am, if there are aliens out there, I guess that just expands our mission field. Really, but
more
I don't think it
to evangelize.
Exactly. I don't think it changes anything of what we're called to do or the truth that we have in Scripture. But
definitely not.
So that, if I had to go one way or the other, I'd say there's probably not. But it wouldn't shake my worldview if there all of a sudden someone landed on the White House lawn, and we all had proof in front of us tomorrow, but it wouldn't really change my view of the world or God or how this world has been created. But
we have a mission, you know? So,
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that changes no matter how many people or creatures are out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I lean on that decision. So,
Well, I feel like that's a pretty good answer.
well, probably trying to hedge my bets, you know.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Trying to play it safe. Well, that's actually all the questions I have for you. So I've really enjoyed this time. Really glad to have you back out here again.
Yeah, it's great.
I think we're going to try and get some more guests on here.
Oh, absolutely.
In the future. So
yeah, let's do that. And if you guys got more questions, you know, send them to AJ at BonAirChurch.com.
Yep.
And we'd be glad to sit down with them. If there's something that you want us to talk about, a subject matter that you want us to talk about, just feel free to let us know what it is, and we'll be glad to talk about that. If there's someone you want to see as a guest, email AJ and let him know. And so we can try this each month and just and see where the episodes go from here.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
All right. Y'all take care.